Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be in for a special treat. I'm going to be talking about a company that I've been watching on the stock market for years. It is a biotech company. It is called Viking Therapeutics, ticker symbol Vktx. Before I proceed any further with this video, I do have to say that none of this is a recommendation to buy or sell securities. I'm a professional practicing pharmacist with about 7 years of investing experience. Please exercise your own due diligence. If you have been following me, you may know I've been following this biotech company for years, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown of why I like this company and why I've been with them. So, who exactly are these guys? They are a biopharmaceutical company focused on novel therapeutics, specifically focusing on metabolic and endocrine diseases. So, we are going to talk about specifically this one right here, the VK2809 thyroid receptor beta, specifically the beta. So it's the thyroid receptor hormone agonist for drug treatment of NASH, which is non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. What exactly is NASH? To figure out NASH, we need to talk about pretty much how it comes into play. And what it is a non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. This is pretty much an accumulation of liver fat. Some of the risk factors include high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, heavy consumption of alcoholic beverages, obesity. So your larger patients are definitely at risk. You can get symptoms that range from no symptoms to people experiencing fatigue, pain, weight loss. And of course, as time passes by, you're going to see inflammation and scarring of the liver tissue. So then when that keeps on accumulating, that scarring, you then reach a point of cirrhosis and NASH. And right now, there really is no standard treatment available to date. We have supportive care measures, and really what we try to do in this disease state is that we try to treat the underlying conditions, such as diabetes or their obesity, those risk factors that we just mentioned before. And looking at this drug, and you can see on this slide that the company has provided, it has gone from phase 1 to phase 2, and it is currently ongoing with their trial. This is very important because there are very large number of common cases of this where these patients do need to be hospitalized. There's about, according to the Mayo Clinic, about more than 3 million U.S. cases occur per year. So we're going to focus specifically on the VK2809. They do have other programs in their pipeline as well that are very interesting. But then if I talk about that, this is going to be an hour-long video. I wanted to make this quick and focus on the VK2809 specifically, since we are anticipating that data to come out in the first half of 2022. So when we go down here, so this is a pretty good summary of the thyroid beta agonist and why it's a pretty big deal both in the medical world and for the investing world, for our investors that are investing in this product, because it is a proprietary technology. It's a platform. It is very selective in targeting the areas that we want to work and achieve these therapeutic benefits. As you can see, they are able to achieve potent lipid reductions, which is a risk factor to contributing to NASH. So it does a really good job of targeting this. The other good thing about this is that the thyroid beta receptor hormone so far has been associated with very little side effects, very minimal. It's a very bright spot in the data, because one of the top questions that we get in the clinical setting and just consulting with our patients is that what are the side effects of taking this medication, right? Any medication that you're taking, both in the inpatient and outpatient setting, that is the top question that you're going to get. So that's very positive news. And then when we go here, they have a pretty cool chart for my pharmacist followers out there that want to learn more about how this works. This does a pretty good summary. And then this picture here kind of details a little bit more easier way of explaining the process of NASH that I was telling you about earlier. You have your clean liver here, then you have your liver with all the scar tissue, as you can see. Oxidative stress. You may be asking, what exactly is oxidative stress? Oxidative stress, in simple terms, is the process that can lead to chronic inflammation. So the body is reacting to any toxic metabolites in your body. It repairs that damage done from those toxic metabolites, right? So what happens is that this defense mechanism keeps on putting stress on the body through damaging different parts of the cell. And what ultimately happens is that you do get liver damage, hepatocyte damage, and you get NASH. So understanding this NASH picture and then understanding where this thyroid beta receptor role comes into play is that it's going to kind of interrupt the NASH progression, which is very huge. So if you are able to kind of reduce that progression by reducing the liver fat, reducing the harmful lipids, and improving your healthy lipids, right? Your HDL, LDL, all that good stuff for my medical providers and medical community out there. That is very good news. There are also some very attractive highlights in this presentation with the data that we have been seeing. And what we see here is that significantly improves lipids, steatosis, NAS at 8 weeks, well tolerated with no evidence of toxicity. Let me tell you, this is a very big deal because triglycerides, cholesterol, total lipids, this is a very huge market space. If any cardiovascular sector, cardiovascular drugs for investors is a very big marketplace. We recently had Vascepa take off a couple years ago with the Reduce It trial. This was one that I was actually able to get into myself, and some of you are familiar with that from following me before. Whenever you see something of this benefit that is able to target, first of all, a disease state where we don't have specific pharmacologic agents to treat it, and you're able to target a large market space with cardiovascular at the same time, it is very attractive. The risk to reward for that investment is it is incredibly a lot of reward and a little bit of risk that you're taking on board. So there also appears to be a benefit in gene effects too. This is something I need to look more into. You see a broad benefit on genes related to lipids, insulin sensitivity, inflammation, and inflammation is a very big part of the progression of NASH that we've been talking about. So if you are able to make any progress here, this is another huge benefit and a very attractive, outstanding marker for this market space for investors. Gene effects and gene therapies and all of that is going to be big in the future. So I love that they actually showed this data, although I don't really know too much about it other than the statistical test that they ran. Looks like it's significant data, which means that it validates the data. So what we're seeing here is that overall, the long story short, we are seeing some improvement with patients taking this therapy in NASH fibrosis. This is very, very good news. As you can see, we're not going to go through all this data, but you guys can go to the company website and learn more about the drug. And what I love about the drug as well is that it's an oral medication. It isn't something that you have to inject. It is an IV. It's an oral medication that makes things just 10 times easier. People don't like getting poked. So you can actually read more about this Voyage trial They did complete a 12-week phase 2 study that demonstrated positive news, liver fat reduction, and right now they are doing a 12-month, which has been already in process and underway, where, like I said before, we are expecting that data to come out at least in the first half of 2022, or maybe in the first quarter, because this has been a study that's been going on for a while. There are other competitors in this space. That is a very good question, a common question that comes up. But right now, there have been a lot of failures in trying to produce a pharmacologic agent to treat this very serious disease where we are lacking a therapeutic treatment. There is a huge demand. There is a huge market space for this. So to be here early, it might actually pay off very well in the long run. I'm not guaranteeing it. Of course, you always have to do your own research. I love that there are no serious adverse effects reported. That is amazing. Excellent tolerability. We see all the benefits listed here. Here you have the summary. The company does have cash available. They do burn cash, but they are in good, healthy standing. Very awesome data. Now, what I want to look at next is actually the stock chart here. So if we go back to September 2018, we can see that the stock was trading around $9-10, and then on 1 week we had this big pop, this big jump. It went from 10, 100% return to 20, 24, and it was trading in that range, and then investors took their profits off of that event. Very common in the biotech sector. You have buy the rumor, sell the news, or buy the news and sell it, all that kind of good stuff going on. And what I like here is that over time, you've just seen this accumulation and a sell-off, and then more accumulation and accumulation over the years, because we do have a follow-up to this study data, and that's going to be coming out next year, as I have said. Here is the news that triggered that upside to $24. This was, and they don't have the date here. Oh, here you go. September 18, 2018. They announced positive top-line results from the phase 2 study of VK2809 in patients with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and elevated LDL cholesterol. This is very big news. This is a hot space. A lot of competitors have failed to do this. So they put themselves in a very strong leading position with this. And I'm not going to go over all the details because I do feel like this video is getting pretty long already. You could pull this up on their website to learn more about it. And now that we have this phase 2B out on the Realm coming out soon, it's going to be very exciting to get in anticipation of valid further confirmation of achieving, first of all, a acceptable therapeutic benefit and having a continuation of great, outstanding minimal side effects from this therapy. Another attractive feature that I do like about this is looking at the company filings. BlackRock has a very good, outstanding record. Larry Fink and the team over there, they are on point. These guys know what they're doing. I like that they have a 13G filed here with about 7.3% ownership in the company. So that kind of makes me feel even more comfortable in this name. I do obviously have some of my pharmacist bias taking a little bit of control in this investment thesis, but the company is positioned in a very unique way where they can pretty much dictate the future of NASH therapy, something that we don't have any treatment for. And as I switch over to this daily chart, you can see that it's just been respecting over this long period of time. It did get a nice run to 10, but it's just been stuck between this 8 $6 range. Sometimes it goes to $5, and I've just been accumulating over time from this $5.50 range to $6 range. And remember, you have that advantage for tax purposes as well. I'm not a tax advisor, but if you hold an investment for longer than a year, you do get that tax benefit where you don't get taxed your tax bracket for that investment. You get a reduced tax on collecting your investment gains. That's if this stock was to, let's say, shoot up again to $20 or $40 off of positive phase 2B study data. Phase 2B is going to include a good number of patients, and then the next step after that would be a phase 3 where they could then introduce an even larger pool of patients to test the therapeutic benefit of this novel therapeutic drug, and to be able to make sure that there are no safety issues, no black box warning, anything like that. So I did get enormous feedback about making more biotech videos, and I may start doing more of these. I love to share my clinical knowledge, my investing point of view with you guys. Again, none of this is a recommendation. Always do your own research. And thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more about the trade study, throw me a like, a subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.